I recently received an email and it was congratulating me on the fact that I posted 600 videos on YouTube. And you know what? It made me think to myself, there will be many entrepreneurs that would never receive this email because they struggle so much on posting their very first video. So this video will be 3 lessons that I've learned over the years that's going to help you have that confidence to post your very first video, but to also continue to post. Here's the first lesson. Confidence isn't created before you take action. It's created during the action. What I mean by that? A lot of entrepreneurs engage in productive procrastination. And that looks like this. You're reading all the self-help books. You're reading all the latest self-help books. You're listening to all the motivational speakers. You're watching all the motivational videos. You got a lion that's chasing a gazelle. And you think that's creating this momentum, this energy within you that's going to give you the confidence to start posting videos. But the only way that you have that confidence that you're looking for is if you take action. If you force yourself to feel uncomfortable. If you're applying whatever in the video, the messages that's in the video, that's in the book, or what the speaker mentions. That's how that confidence is created. It's cool to engage in these different forms of self-help, but self-help can be harmful if you're not using what's supposed to be helpful to help you. That's why it's so important for you to take action, because you need to be using what you've learned to help you in order to have that confidence to post that very first video and to post consistently. Before I first started, I was listening to all the YouTube gurus on how to grow a YouTube channel. I was listening to all the motivational speakers. I was reading all the self-help books. But I kept realizing that none of that was helpful because I wasn't doing what was most important, and that was taking action. Once I began to challenge myself, once I began to allow myself to feel uncomfortable by putting myself out there, risking getting judged, risking failing, that's when that confidence starts to grow within me. True confidence grows when you're taking action, not when you're looking to get motivated. Here's the second lesson. If you don't have a strong internet presence, if you're not popular, it is highly possible that no one is going to watch your very first videos. So you might as well post it. Now, it's important for me to mention that because so many entrepreneurs suffer from the effects of the fear of judgment. An assumption that someone will have a negative opinion about them. In their minds, they conjure up the negative ideas that if they decide to post, because their family members are so used to knowing them for who they used to be, and they're looking to be someone else, their family members are going to judge them. If they decide to post their very first video, old co-workers would talk about them. If they decide to post their very first videos, a random hater would negatively comment on one of their videos, talking about something that they may be insecure about. But as I said, if you don't have a strong social media presence, and if you're not popular, more than likely ain't nobody gonna watch that very first video. Also, the YouTube algorithm don't know you well enough to post, to share your video to different people, because it doesn't know if people will want to watch it. It doesn't have enough data to say that. So you might as well post that video. Matter of fact, your family probably know you so well that they don't even want to watch that video. So you have every reason to post that video and not fear potential judgment that probably won't even exist. When I first decided that I was going to create some content, I feel bad by saying this, but on the different social media platforms that I was going to post on, I used to block some of my family members because I didn't want them to see the videos. I wanted them to see the finished product. I didn't want them to see me in my building phase. And it was stupid of me to do that because I don't know about you, I don't know about other people, but I really got a great family. Now the joke's gonna fly, but it's not gonna be disrespectful. It's not going to be judgmental. And so there was no reason for me to fear what they would say. There was no reason for me to fear what my coworkers at that time would say. So I had every reason to post the videos. I'm glad that I posted those videos when I did, even when I was feeling that way. Because when you allow yourself to succumb to the effects of fear, you feel like a puppet being controlled by it. It dictates your actions. It dictates what you say. It dictates how you think. And you feel like you don't have any free will. So that's why it's so important to post that very first video. Here's the third lesson. Your future audience doesn't need you to be perfect. They need you to be present. So many entrepreneurs, they suffer from the idea that they need to be perfect. Everything needs to be lined up perfectly in order for them to create content. They need to have the perfect background. They need to have the perfect lighting. They need to be filming with the perfect camera. They need to be editing with perfection like they working for Marvel or DC. No. Your audience, they don't need perfection. In fact, I've discovered that they don't care and they don't like perfection. They like to know the real you. They want to see the real you. They want to see your mishaps, your failures, your L's. They want to know about that. They want to connect with you. They want to feel like you are human just like them. They want to relate to you. They don't want to feel like they're interacting with the robot. They want to feel like they're interacting with the human. Someone who wake up with morning breath. Someone who stumbles sometimes. Someone who make mistakes. That's the person that they want to connect. I remember back then when I used to suffer from this life, thinking that the camera need to be perfect, the lighting need to be perfect, the background. I mean, like, I got the same background for when I started. It's just a regular painting that my cousin painted that has a black man with chess pieces on it. I thought this whole setup need to be perfect. No one needs me to be perfect, and it would be crazy enough for me to believe that I need to be perfect because I'm the most imperfect person on this planet, and so are you. And I don't say that to discourage you. I say that because that's what makes us human. That's what gives us our essence and our aura. That's what makes us unique. So your audience, they don't need you to be something that you would never be. They need you to be there for them. They need you to add value to their lives. They need the solution that you have that will solve their problems. They need the impact that you have that will transform their lives. That's what they need. They only care about themselves. What you may value in the content creation process, they won't care about that. There have been many people that's created more with less and created a massive impact. And that's what your purpose is. That's what you need to be doing. There's no reason for you to chase perfection because you'll just be chasing it forever. Now I get it. I understand why you feel like everything needs to be perfect. It's because whatever fool back in time that once said that practice makes perfect, creating this idea that we need to be perfect and lying to everybody, that lie replaying in our minds is why so many entrepreneurs chase perfectionism, even though it doesn't exist. It's like a hamster running in a wheel, going nowhere with it. That's what life is like when you chase the idea that you need to be perfect. You're basically a hamster in a wheel running and going nowhere. So it's time for you to be the hamster that jump off the wheel. You might twist a leg or so, but you need to be going somewhere, and that somewhere is creating the content for the audience that you're meant to serve. I hope this video finds the entrepreneur that's been procrastinating, that's been wasting so much time believing in lies, that's been keeping them from creating content. Just know that if you're continue to procrastinate and waste time, you're robbing people of your greatness. You're robbing them of your solution to their problems. If you're sick of being a criminal and robbing them, post that very first video today. Post it now. Post it while it's ugly. Post it while it's not perfect. I don't care if you feel like you're not ready. Matter of fact, if you keep waiting to feel when you are ready, you may waste so much time that you may not even feel a thing. So post that video today. If this video has been valuable for you, I encourage you to subscribe because you're just gonna get more of this. Thank you so much for watching this video. Matter of fact, if you watch either one of these videos, I promise you they're going to solve a problem that you have.